Had to save the best for last. How will NFL defenses adjust to Brock Purdy? Before you go, some interesting statistics just to keep in mind while you're answering.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy had 233 attempts. 62 were play action. 30 were screen passes. The rest were just normal passes. 15% of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage. 43.8 were between the yardage of 0 and 9. 19.7 were between 10 and 19, and 11.6 were 20 plus. Where are they going to adjust?
I don't think there's any doubt. I don't think there's any doubt. They're going to try to pressure him in his face, send extra guys in the A gaps, see if he, is going to try to run out the back door. But I also think they're going to flood the underneath and dare him to go up top. And that's why I think Danny Gray is important. That's why I think Ray McLeod's important. I think they're gonna try to play Brock like a guy who can't make all the throws. They're gonna dare him to throw it outside the hashes. They're gonna dare him to throw it down the field. They're gonna make him show that he can be accurate with the ball down the field. And if he can make those throws and keep him honest, they'll come out of it and play him straight. If they can't, he's just going to get a lot. They're going to play him inside of a 12 to 15-yard box, be super physical with the receivers underneath, and just try to force the ball out of his hands early and not give him any time. But I don't think it's going to work necessarily, because I think the 49ers have a real strong running game, a real strong defense, and I think Purdy can he's got a better arm than people think. And I do anticipate him to be a little stronger, a lot more knowledgeable. One of the things that Brock did so much better than Jimmy and really any of the Niner quarterbacks is throw it with anticipation. We haven't seen a quarterback throw with anticipation like this in a Niner uniform since Steve Young. I mean, we're literally talking 25 years ago, the last time a Niner quarterback threw the ball consistently, where they were anticipatory throws, where he's leading you to the open spot, where he knows where the coverage weakness is, and he's exploiting it by leading his receivers away from the coverage. The one thing that nobody ever seems to talk about, and it was really, really apparent to me, was how few times Brock Purdy set his receivers up to just get destroyed. Think about it. How many times did you see Brock throw the ball and Ayuk gets blown up? How many times did he throw it and Debo got blown up, or Debo got blown up, or McCaffrey underneath just took a monster hit? And it's all about throwing with touch, but this is more about throwing with the proper timing. And that's what he does. But it's also the ability to throw with anticipation. And that means you have to know the coverages like the back of your hand. You got to know where your receivers are in the pattern, and you got to be able to lead them to a spot. And you got to, there's a lot of trust that goes involved into that. So I think you're going to see more of that. I think you're going to see Brock throwing the ball to guys in perfect spots, more anticipatory throws than we even saw last year. And I think he's going to wind up forcing defenses to play him honest. And I also think the Niners are going to run it a lot early. I mean, why not? Why wouldn't you run it a ton? You have Christian McCaffrey, you have Elijah Mitchell, you have Jordan Mason. You may literally have 3 starting caliber NFL running backs, and they're all pretty damn good. So I think, especially in September, if Brock answers the bell at Heinz Field on the 10th of September, expect a run-heavy scheme, where he's not throwing it 35 times, where he's on a little bit of a pitch count, and they're trying to, make sure they protect him by having a strong running game, or at least a lot of reps to that run game. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I expect them to do something similar to what the Dolphins did the first week. I could see them blitzing him a lot. When I was looking up his accuracy, he was actually pretty low in under pressure accuracy, 32nd in the NFL. I had a 47.7% completion percentage when under pressure, which was surprising, which was better than Garoppolo, but still, that's not great. So I could see them doing that. He also obviously favored the shorter routes, so maybe some press man coverage. But I mean, he still was able to successfully make a lot of those passes in the short route, and I'm sure a lot of defenses were already doing that. So, we're just gonna have to see. That's the truth.
A Data 84 says test his arm strength, no doubt. Lennon's dad says you're the GOAT, Larry. Thank you. Artur Gazarian says, Kev, dude, he's saying, Larry, you should be such a proud father. Look at young Krug go. Also, young Krug, what are your thoughts on Brock Purdy and Trey Lance? Are you prepared for that one, Kev?
I don't know about that.
You can't do any of these
my opinion on Trey Lance is, like, I rewatched his game against the Cardinals, and the entire time I was watching it, I was excited. I was like, damn, he's good. He was fast. He didn't look good in that game, really, but it was exciting to see the potential that he has. He's fast and he has a good arm and he's tall and he's like one of your most athletic players in the field, and he's a quarterback. I mean, that's exciting. But then I saw him get destroyed by Isaiah Simmons on the goal line, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we running him so hard? I mean, I'm not sure exactly on that play, like I can't remember what exactly happened.
Well,
there were a lot of design runs.
It was a run pass option to the right. He saw Simmons, went for the pylon. Simmons detonated on him. Simmons runs in the 4.4s at 245 pounds. And even though he's a nickel player, but yeah, I mean, that was just, Trey worked at the FCS level. He ran that guy over, And so this was so early in his career, the one thing, and I said it that day, I'm like, the one thing that I worry about with a lot of young quarterbacks, do they have appropriate fear? Because you don't make a living in the NFL running over the defense. You got to run away from the defense. In that situation, he tried to run over the defense. So
yeah, I mean, Jalen
he learned his lesson there, though, didn't he?
Jalen Hurts last year did not try to run over players, and he's one of the strongest quarterbacks there is. I mean, he did do the what's it called
the rugby scrum short yardage play.
That thing. They did that, but they didn't. He didn't try. He slid. If you watch him, he slid. So I mean, Trey Lance has to do that. He can't be risking his body like that, But it's exciting. But Brock Purdy, he earned the right to start. There's no doubt he's going to start. If he plays bad for an extended period of time, I mean, that's the other thing. If he plays bad week 1, Kyle can't switch him out because he's going to look terrible if he does that. Like, you can't have that short of a leash with your starting quarterback.
Well, the only way he's coming out is if he either gets hurt or he shows that he can't, his arm strength is a shadow of what it was, then potentially he is coming out. Then the question is,
they would know that. They would know that. They would know if his arm strength wasn't there before he started. I'd hope.
Yeah.